Hi folks, Puffin here. Just wanted to make a short video about the Olympics, racism, racists in the Olympics, people trolling Simone Biles. These are the same people that shut up and dribble crowd, like the racists in America and outside of America who are trolling for Trump. It's the same people, the Trumpers. And it just goes to show how racist and how un-American and just how mean-spirited they are, how petty people they are. That for one thing, their greatest goal in life is to downvote Joe Biden videos and brag about it. And then you just know that they were trolling Simone Biles to begin with. I don't know if I made a video about it, just speculating when she first withdrew that it might have had something to do with people trolling her, because she probably does maintain a social media presence and she's, a spokesman for different things and has such a following. And being on social media is probably subjected to all these trolls saying all these things. And it's not that they necessarily put her off her game, but I mean, they could have contributed to it, because it's rude and nobody likes that. And especially when you're a public figure like that and you have to deal with hundreds of thousands of times what, a normal person like me has to deal with. And I get plenty of trolls. I'm a nobody and I get plenty of trolls. Simone Biles was probably being trolled before her potential performances, and then after she dropped out, they kicked it into high gear. And you just know in your hearts, they're the shut up and dribble crowd who are complaining about LeBron James and others protesting for Black Lives Matter. They're those people. They ruin sport in a way. I mean, they didn't ruin it, like it's not coming back, but they're ruining it to a huge degree. Like, I'm not even a huge sports fan. I enjoy watching them, but I kind of had to teach myself to get into sports because I wasn't a fan as a kid. And so I do like them a lot. And I really like it when people use their platform for social justice to try to provoke change. I think that's one of the greatest things about it is that you can become a celebrity at a sport and then use that for a good cause. I believe that about Michael Vick. Despite his crimes, he's been the best voice against dogfighting because he took it seriously and went beyond what he had to do to be a spokesman against it and to teach people this is a bad practice to engage in, to try to actually change the culture and change people. So, sport can be really powerful, and I appreciate it. And it can be a distraction that keeps people from other things, or keeps people busy or whatever. For good or bad. It's people need things to relax, and people need things to enjoy in that way. And you ruin that by complaining about what people say or refusing to watch the sport. I mean, we don't miss you if you don't watch the sport, but it's like, by trying to hurt a sport or hurt the Olympics by not watching. I don't think racists boycotted the Olympics and changed the viewership. I think the Olympics made some poor decisions as far as, or dealing with the nature of the streaming universe. The Olympics made some poor decisions, putting all these things in different platforms. That didn't help their ratings. It's better to see as much as you can of the most exciting stuff and just the most variety of stuff all in one place for free over the air where the most people can see it. That's my advice. And there's some type of racism built into that. But what I really wanted to focus on is how these trolls got onto Simone Biles. And bless you, Simone Biles, and hopefully you have peace and happiness and success in all that you do. And thanks for speaking up and making it good for others to speak up or opening that door. It's kind of ironic that Nike had that commercial about in the future, all these great things. And then they have a janitor cleaning up an empty room and they're like, or not in the future, tomorrow is how they say it. Tomorrow we will care about athletes' mental health. Well, why not today? And why is there a janitor cleaning an empty room? And why are all these things projected into the future? Like, that would be great if we can do that sometime. We can do these things today. There's a lot we can do today. And we mostly know what it is. And we mostly know who it is standing in the way. It's the people who will troll somebody over having a mental health crisis. And another thing I want to point out about that, if she wasn't Simone Biles and she wasn't black, I don't think that the trolls would have piled on like that at all. I think that shows the racism. So it's the racism and the anti-Americanism. It's not just anti-American to criticize an American athlete, but if you're claiming to be an American Trumper and you're criticizing the American athlete, it goes against what most people do, have this kind of patriotic spirit for their country's team or any country they feel like cheering for, any athlete they feel like cheering for. People, can find reasons to cheer for everybody, really, because they're all athletes. But there is this patriotism is definitely pushed through the media, about around the Olympics, and a lot of people are into it, and it can be a good thing. It can be something people are proud of and helps them be excited and feel, alive and fun. And to be against that, to be like, no, I'm going to defy that spirit in order to exhibit racism and anti mental health, messages. That's just such a petty troll thing to do. And it's a Trumper thing to do. That's the kind of the focus I wanted to make of this video, is that that's the only overlap. That the circles are the same on the Venn diagram. Trumpers and people who KKK, people who criticize Simone Biles, whatever, they're all the same people. They might not all be American trolls, and they might not even think of themselves as trolls. They might just be like, I'm really into Trump and will just say anything he wants me to say. Let's take a step back and look at it, and look at how many people pretend to be Americans, but they're just terrible people in other parts of the world who get off on trolling. And now, why would you want to be a part of that or be associated with that? So please look at that and consider that, it's just, that's the way you're wrong. If you're agreeing with the shut up and dribble crowd, if you're agreeing with the, Blue Lives Matter until we're bashing them in the head crowd. I mean, I'm watching this stupid channel, Memology, who's making fun of one of the Capitol cops for complaining that the police union, like the National USA Police Union, would not condemn police officers and ex-police officers who were part of the insurrection attacking the Capitol cops. But he wouldn't condemn it. Patrick Yost wouldn't condemn it. And they're trying to make fun of this guy, the hero Capitol cop who's trying to stop the insurrection, calling him a snitch. Like, no, you get in trouble for that. I'm glad they're shutting your channel down, Memology. Like, free speech, I'm all for free speech. I get censored a lot, so I hate it. It's really frustrating and annoying. But you should be censored for spreading genocide and hate and that type of pettiness. That's legitimate censorship. Or if you're at least identified by, well, this person's willing to say this, so we've identified them, then act on that identification. Flag them or something. Do something to say, look, this person is a verified racist or verified Trumper, whatever it is. You don't have to listen to what they say. Put a content warning on their stuff. Let them say what they say, but put a content warning there, so we know this person is a fascist. Like, I'm sorry, but it takes something. And in some places, you do ban the speech because they're promoting genocide. They're telling people not to wear masks. And that speech has become so common that to consider banning it, like, well, half people are saying that. Yeah. And that's why this virus keeps going around. They're making the genocide continue. So stop them somehow, or at least have, concerted efforts of criticizing them, so that if they're allowed to say these things, they're criticized roundly enough. The thing is, they've got the troll mechanism. They use all these multiple accounts. It's frustrating. So if you want to ban people, if you want to make sure that people go only use one account on on your platform or something like that, do stuff like that. But eventually, if you work hard enough, you can shut it down. But they're working hard to promote it, like Putin and the KGB and the KKK and Trump and all these Republicans with lots of money and stuff are working hard to keep pushing this forward. So we have to work hard, crowdsource the grassroots effort to push back against it. And I just wanted to mention Simone Biles and the fact that all the people who are criticizing him are all the same people who are holding us up on green energy, and all the same people who are doing just everything wrong. They're the Nazis of the current era. Gotta stop them. And thank you, Simone Biles, and sorry for you being the person who has taken that abuse and become like the touch point for all that stuff. Because if it was critical race theory last week, it's Simone Biles now. Like, be proud of that, because you're an American hero, both for your athletic accomplishments, but for your, more so, history will look back on you more so as a hero for what you've done, speaking out, using your voice. And what apparently, I'm afraid I've heard them talk about how people have been trolling you and criticizing you. Those are trolls. Those don't speak for the real Americans. We all love you and appreciate what you're doing. And the future will look back on you historically as an important historical figure for mental health, for human rights, for humanity, not just America, for humanity. So thank you for being like, a modern leader to help people out of mental health. It's like being helped out of slavery. It's like being a modern Harriet Tubman. To help people out of mental health issues, that is a form of liberation in modern society. So thank you, Simone Biles, and I hope that career is where you do all that passion and success and championship spirit that you have goes into championing for everyone else as well. And it's not up to you, it's up to everybody to help you. But thank you for what you've already done as that type of hero. And I hope that proves a fulfilling, successful career for you. And thanks all good Americans out there supporting, all good people everywhere, not just Americans, all good people everywhere supporting everyone, because we are all in it together. And the health of everyone helps the health of everyone else, as fighting the Trump virus has shown. So thanks for watching. See you soon.